You can't focus. You can't sleep without checking her profile. You can't be alone without imagining her face, her laugh, her body. But I'm not talking about just one woman. I'm talking about all of them. Every time a woman crosses your path, your mind drifts. You feel anxiety, desire, fear, and urgency, and you think it's normal. But what if I told you it's not? What if I said this silent hunger you drag around like a heavy weight has roots far deeper than you ever imagined? You are not in love. You are addicted. You scroll through Instagram. You swipe on Tinder. Every new like, every message you send or receive gives you a brief rush. You feel seen for a moment, maybe valued. But right after that rush, a darker feeling creeps in. A void. A sense of emptiness that no match, no message, no moment of validation can ever fill. You search for her attention to escape that void. You chase another dopamine hit. Because deep down, you don't feel whole. You feel divided. You feel lost. This is not a weakness. This is a sign that half of your soul is missing. Carl Jung called that missing piece the anima. The anima is the inner feminine, the part of you that holds your feelings, your dreams, your connection to life. It lives deep in your unconscious. But modern life has taught you to rip that piece out and throw it onto every woman you see. You project onto women everything you have not embraced in yourself. You put your inner life onto a stranger's body and wait for her to fill you up. Have you ever felt that a woman you barely know has something you desperately need? That her attention, her affection, her body would make you complete? That's not love. That's emptiness. And that emptiness can't be filled by another body, another text, another match. Emptiness is filled with awareness, with facing your own shadows. But that is terrifying, because it means looking at yourself, and you've been taught to ignore yourself. You've been taught to look outside for what you lack inside. Every time she swipes left, you feel like the world collapses, because you don't see her rejection. You see yourself falling apart. If she wants you, you matter. If she doesn't, you vanish. You feel childish, but it's not your fault. You were trained this way. You were taught that your value comes from female desire. You were told that to be a man is to be loved by women. You were taught to seek validation instead of connection. And the cruelest part? You believed it was love. But this has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with power and control. Your own psyche is divided. You are stuck in a loop where every new conversation, every conquest, every rejection only deepens the prison. Because you ignore your unconscious, it possesses you. It drags you. It turns you into an emotional beggar. This is not love. This is addiction. Like any addiction, it gives you a moment of euphoria, then leaves destruction in its wake. You seek her to escape your loneliness, your fear, your lack of purpose. You beg her to fill a void you refuse to see. And every time she rejects you, you hate her. But what you hate is the mirror she holds up. She shows you what you are not. She shows you that you are incomplete. Imagine a child who never got to grow up. Imagine that child living inside you, afraid of silence, afraid of being alone, afraid of seeing what is missing. Because without a ritual of manhood, without a rite of passage, that child stayed alive. He clings to any mother figure he finds. He looks for comfort in women's arms. He sees women not as equals or partners, but as saviors. And this is why most of your relationships are not romantic. They are regressive. You don't search for a partner. You search for a mother who will see you, calm you, save you. But every woman who sees you as a child will never respect you as a man. She doesn't want to be your mother. She wants to be your equal. And the moment she senses you are that frightened boy seeking her breast, she pulls away. Not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. She senses your need, and need is not attractive. Need is weakness. This void, this hunger, this chase, it is not accidental. Modern culture feeds it. It glorifies sensitivity as long as you perform it from lack. It tells you to show your emotions, but it does not teach you to own them. It sells romance as paradise, while hiding the poison beneath. It creates hungry men who will do anything for a taste of affection, for a click on a profile, for a hollow affirmation. And those hungry men are easy to control. Because when your energy is scattered in the endless chase, you can't build, you can't lead, you can't dream. Your focus is on them, not on yourself. And that is exactly what they want. A culture full of men who never find their center, who never claim their power, who never know who they are without a woman's glance. But here is the brutal truth. You are not addicted to women. You are addicted to what they represent. You are addicted to the idea that you are incomplete. You are addicted to running from yourself. And until you face that, you will keep circling the same trap. You will keep chasing, you will keep falling, you will keep hating, and you will keep pretending that it is love. But love is not a cage. Love does not demand that you lose yourself. Love does not feed on your fear. True love is free. True love comes from a man who stands firm in his power, who has integrated his shadow, who is whole. When you are whole, you can connect without need, without hunger, without fear. If this hits you in the gut, if it burns a fire inside you, do this now. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and smash that subscribe button. Join this growing army of men who refuse to stay trapped. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because the more we wake up, the more we break this prison. The more our voices rise, the more our truth spreads. Hit like, comment, and subscribe. Let's ignite a revolution of self-discovery. Now listen carefully. To break free, you must do what most men refuse. You must die to the child inside. Not kill your innocence, your laughter, or your joy. But you must let go of the child who needs constant attention, who falls apart without it. That child has protected you for years. He has kept you safe, but he has also kept you weak. And to become a whole man, he must fade. You must face the pain of being vulnerable without a crutch. You must stare at your empty hours without distraction. You must face your fears without hiding behind a screen. Look at your phone. Every time you chase another woman, you drain your energy. Every swipe, every message, every sleepless night, those are leaks in your soul. And until you plug those leaks, you will never build anything lasting. You will never find your purpose. You will never know your power. But if you have the courage to turn off the apps, to delete the feeds, to face your own silence, you start to see clearly. You recover your energy. You start to build from within, and you begin to stop needing. Not because you become cold or shut down, but because you find your center, because you become so full of your own life that you share your overflow instead of begging for scraps. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It is a rough path. You will stumble, you will cry, you will face parts of yourself that make you cringe. But that is where true transformation lives. When you ask yourself, what part of me am I seeking outside? What piece of my soul do I keep projecting? That question changes everything. Because once you ask it, you cannot unsee the answers. You begin the process of finding yourself. Romanticism is a drug. Every time you imagine a perfect future with her, every time you build castles in the air with someone you barely know, you escape your real life. You poison your present with a dream. But dreams are fine when you build them from strength, not from weakness. When you use them as fuel to create reality, not as anesthesia to numb pain. If you stay hooked on that narrative, your real life will stall. You will miss your chance to create something meaningful. You will watch opportunities slip away because you invest your energy in illusions. Here is something few people will tell you. You are not broken because you chased love. You are broken because you never chased yourself. The real work is not to learn how to get her number. The real work is to learn how to stand alone. The real work is to learn how to be comfortable with your own company. Because only when you can sit in silence and feel whole can you truly connect with another. Only when you have wrestled with your own darkness can you bring light into a relationship. Only when you own your anima, your inner feminine, can you stand tall as a man who loves, not as a man who begs. Think about every time you lost energy chasing someone who didn't care. Think about every moment you gave up your power to fit into someone else's mold. Think about how many hours you spent on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, any place where you lose track of yourself chasing another's approval. Now imagine using those hours to learn a new skill, to train your body, to read a book, to meditate, to build a routine that centers you. That is the path. Replace the chase with your own growth. Replace validation with self-respect. Replace addiction with purpose. As you move forward, you will feel resistance. Your brain will fight you. It will crave that rush. It will whisper, just one more scroll, just one more message, just one more date. But in that whisper lies the trap. In that whisper lies your old prison. Every time you resist that voice, you reclaim power. Every time you look inward instead of outward, you heal a piece of yourself. Every time you choose silence over distraction, you win a victory. These small victories add up. They build the foundation of a man who no longer chases, a man who stands strong, a man who loves from abundance. And when you reach that place, something amazing happens. You look at a woman and you see her as a person, not a mirror, not a promise, not a prize. You see her as a fellow human being, complex, deep, whole, with her own shadows and strengths. You connect with her from a place of authenticity. There is no mask, there is no game, there is no need, there is only presence. And that presence is magnetic. That presence creates a bond that lasts because it is real. It is built on two whole people sharing their overflow, not two halves trying to fill a void. The world needs that kind of man. It needs men who have rebuilt themselves from the ruins. Men who have embraced their darkness without fear and decided to use it as fuel. Men who stand with their shadows, not buried by them. Men who build, who create, who lead. Men who know their purpose is not born from desire. It is born from silence, from that inner stillness where the true self lives. If this message stirs something in you, if it cuts through the noise, share it. Not for me, for you. Comment below, I am stopping looking to start finding myself. Let the algorithm see it. Let other men see it. Let this spark a conversation about truth, not illusion. Remember this, you didn't come here to beg. You came here to build. You came here to be whole. So take care of yourself like a warrior cares for his sword, with respect, with discipline, with purpose. The battle is not out there, it is inside, and you have just decided to fight it. You have just decided to stop running. You have just decided to start waking up. So comment your thoughts. Let me know how this video hit you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and support this channel, because together we will raise a generation of conscious men. A generation that no longer chases illusions, but creates reality. A generation that no longer begs for love, but lives love. That is our mission. That is our fight. That is our war. And it begins now.